I made a video the other day on this dude, Loppy, exposing him for all this previously unknown like, nobody knew about it. I was the first. You're welcome. I know you know that, though, because, like, it kind of made the niche internet equivalent of national headlines. Everybody's been chirping about it. Some not even giving me credit. So f*** you.
So, as you have seen, this YouTuber by the name of Gone Fishing has called me out in a pretty big way 50 seconds into his latest bombshell Predator vid. He's a Roblox commentary guy who has 85,000 subscribers who recently was the first to make a video on Loppy, if you couldn't already tell. A lot of people, including myself, would also end up making videos on Loppy after his released, and that's where today's problems begin. Shortly after my video went live, he made an extremely long comment on it, basically asking for credit over and over again. In it, Gone Fishing claimed he did all of the work twice, that I should say he accused Loppy, that I practically reposted his video, and a lot of other stuff. I saw this and immediately chose to ignore it, because it's a ridiculous comment for various reasons that I'll pick apart throughout this vid. Then a few days later, Gone Fishing drops a second part on Loppy and immediately opens it up by calling me and seemingly others out. He specifically singled me out for not saying who accused Loppy, using parts of his talk with Loppy, mirrors all his points near verbatim, and not crediting him. I was also alerted to him pretty much calling out anyone who used evidence he's shown as vultures who pick his journalism.
That's blatant. Again, can we watermark that? Gone Fishing, Paycheck Gang, fucking, just you fucking vultures. The vultures, dude. The vultures, they come in and they swoop in and they pick your story. They pick my fucking journalism. My fucking journalism that I fucking did. They pick that shit. They pick that shit for spare parts.
His behavior and coverage of the Loppy situation has angered a lot of people, and you're gonna see it later in this vid. First, let me tell you how my video came to be and why I didn't and don't even need to give Gone Fishing his desired credit. I didn't credit him because I didn't get any information from him. In fact, I didn't even watch his vid, and even if I did, I still wouldn't need to give him credit. I found out about Loppy's allegations 8 days before his vid released, which is the exact same time Schlepp, who provided Gone Fishing the evidence, found out. I didn't make a video because I was under the impression it was still being investigated, and at that time, I didn't receive all the evidence. Then I heard it got sent to Gone Fishing, and his vid would release quickly to my surprise, and I assumed it had been dealt with. I was aware of what Loppy's allegations were, so I didn't watch Gone Fishing's video, and to be clear, I don't watch his vids anyway. Almost immediately after it released, it became apparent that people privately were not happy with how he covered Loppy's allegations. I heard a lot of complaints about how the video was bloated as it was 47 minutes long and included way too much fluff.
I want to wrap this section up by telling you another little relevant story from my childhood, if you don't mind.
I've reflected on this more as of recently, but I realized that I had a childhood experience unlike that of most young men my age. I was making out with girls by the time I was 9 years old. I'm not kidding. I'm pretty sure that's not a very common experience among young men, especially men that are like disaffected and are on the internet a lot. I had my first like major like quote-unquote relationship by the time I was 11 years old. I'm not kidding. I was in the 5th.
The versatile Roblox commentary YouTuber.
Gone Fishing is a versatile YouTuber who's gonna have his in my girl in about 6 months from now. So really excited for that because I'm a big fat fucking abuser and I totally deserve it. She deserves way better than me. Anyways, it's your boy Milk.
Like, why are you talking about having sex with your girlfriend in a video calling out someone for allegedly committing a crime? Gone Fishing's unique editing style was also a point of conversation because it distorts a lot of important information and evidence. I'm not going to rip too much into his editing because it's fine for some topics, but it's totally inappropriate for heavier videos like Predator Exposes. It made the evidence harder for viewers to take in and harder for anyone to further spread, which should be the only purpose of vids like that. Stretching everything, overboosting the sharpness, killing the quality, and hiding it behind you does a disservice to everyone, including the victims who are trying to get the info out there.
So what? So what if I'm f***ing American? Bro, Anglo-Saxon is Aryan, bro. What the f*** are you talking about, dude?
Bro, you're not Aryan, you're
I'm Anglo-Saxon. That's f***ing, bro.
Yeah, but are you brown-haired? What color is your eye?
He always does it, including that clip where he disguises the voices of other Roblox people who are also Nazis, along with his own, just for stylistic purposes. The point is that his video was bloated, hard to follow, and it distorted evidence for the sole purpose of having a style, making it a difficult video to watch. I would be privately approached to make a video on Loppy's allegations due to Gone Fishing's less than optimal coverage. I got sent almost all the evidence I included by Schlep, hence why it's not distorted like it was in Gone Fishing's video. Now there were some messages including Gone Fishing and I assume from his vid, but I got those from another vid which is shown here with date. I didn't get anything from Gone Fishing's video because I simply didn't watch it, so I have no reason to credit or link it. But some of you may ask why I didn't credit him for this, which should be pretty obvious as to why. 1, I didn't get it from his vid, and 2, I don't need to even if I did take it from it. There's this thing called fair use that lets people use copyrighted content without permission or credit for stuff like news reporting. Us YouTubers are aware of it, which is why we won't always credit each other for news and why we don't complain about it, but I guess Gone Fishing doesn't know that. It's not like I removed his name either. It's distorted, but it's right there in a screenshot for all to see, and it's in my vid for like 20 seconds. I believe this is the sole screenshot that came directly from him in my video, and everything else was taken by victims. He also spoke about how I mirrored all his points near verbatim, and if this isn't obvious enough, it only sounds similar because both vids are on the same topic. Plus, it's not even his story itself, it's the victims, and that's how he was able to learn of these allegations because the victims told their story. To sum that all up, I didn't get any info from him, I was sent it by others or they came from other vids, and it's all fair use, so nobody has to credit him. My video was made because select individuals wanted me to make one after Gone Fishing couldn't properly relay info in his. His extreme desire for credit brings me to the second point of this video, and that's to show you one reason why he makes these exposed videos. Gone Fishing wants to be put on a pedestal as this hero of the Roblox community who takes down bad people, and he has made it unbelievably obvious. He has got a big ego, and one of his ways of fulfilling it is making these exposed videos and getting recognition for it.
I made a video the other day on this dude, Loppy, exposing him for all this previously unknown like nobody knew about it. I was the first. You're welcome. I know you know that though.
They pick my fucking journalism that I fucking did. They pick that
Do not let them take this victory away from us. Remember, we were the ones who actually did the work. This community are the ones actually responsible for Loppy's downfall.
Do you notice how he keeps talking about how he did all the work, and he's the one who first uncovered it, and he always deserves credit? That's his ego talking, while also looking for more recognition and validation from whoever's watching his vids. He basically snitched on himself by making it so painfully obvious in his second Loppy video where he tries to take all the credit for taking Loppy down. The reality is Gone Fishing didn't expose Loppy, the victims did, and he's trying to take credit for it while calling people out for not crediting him for others' work. Sure, he made the first video, but anybody could have done that with the information that would have only been made known by the victims. He straight up said that he was the one who accused Loppy, which is completely untrue unless he is secretly the victim of everything Loppy did. Him trying to take credit for the brave acts of victims coming forward with their stories is one of the most sadly egotistical things I've ever seen. He does that because he wants to be the guy who took down a predator because that fulfills his big ego and makes him sound like some kind of hero. All of us who make these kinds of vids are happy when the info gets spread by others, but Gone Fishing seems more interested in getting recognition for it. It's so important to him that he made the intro for his latest Loppy vid about getting that recognition and calling out those who didn't give it to him. His behavior upset a lot of people I talked to privately, obviously many of whom are YouTubers, but it has also upset the victim of Loppy's alleged sexual assault. She is upset about how he's trying to take all the credit for everything, including for that video call she had with Loppy that she recorded. She goes on to mention Gone Fishing's callouts and how they're almost taking away from the victims of Loppy. The victim would go on to state how it's obvious he is only really concerned about making clout. And again, that is the victim saying that, not me. She also doesn't understand why he acts like he solely took down Loppy when he was just given info and didn't mention anyone else involved. What she's saying is right, because Gone Fishing is, at the least, extremely interested in getting clout, so much so that it's distracting from the victims' stories. He's doing a disservice to the victims just because he wants clout for posting evidence and information that mostly didn't come from him. The intro needlessly and wrongfully calls people out, which immediately shifted focus away from what the victims have shared. A victim being this angry at Gone Fishing for how he's treating her situation tells you all you need to know. In this situation, her words are stronger than anyone else's, so what she says about his actions is the answer to how you should view his behavior. I can't say this is his sole intention for making exposed vids, but he has made it clear he wants all the recognition for exposing a predator he didn't expose. Gone Fishing wants to be viewed as a hero for calling out predators, and, ironically enough, he wears a hero chain on his Roblox avatar. Something interesting with him is that he had previously tried discrediting YouTubers who covered predators or make videos on similar dark topics.
What I've noticed is that a lot of guys who make videos on similar topics
Care more about being the savior than they do like the actual topic, or they care about like their reputation about, you know, for covering said things, and not about the actual topic itself. You know, clear the way, everybody, here I come, f***ing saving the day once again.
What he did there was plant this idea that YouTubers like myself, or Schlep, or Ruben Sim cover bad stuff for our own gain and to boost our reputations. He didn't name names as a way to pull us all down so he could rise up and become the most honorable and notable Roblox exposer. Instead, what he did is describe himself, because he's now begging for credit and recognition for exposing someone he didn't expose. He wants to be the savior. He cares about his reputation for covering such things seemingly more than the problem at hand, and he proved it. If he truly cared more about spreading word about guys like Loppy, he wouldn't aggressively seek credit and constantly point out how he was the first to cover it. Now, I'm fully expecting him to make a response, and one of the things I bet he'd mention is me supposedly making myself out to be a hero through my Cow Cow character. I've made multiple vids referring to Cow Cow as a hero, and while I am behind it, he's one of my characters that has been in my vids for a decade. Cow Cow Man Man Thing It is a character who sacrificed his life in the war against Meep City and online dating, and that is why I portray him as a hero. If I wanted to paint myself fully as a hero, I'd be doing what Gone Fishing does, like ego boosting in my exposed vids and calling people out who don't recognize me. What he's doing is so blatant because he's making it all about him, which, again, is even something the victim recognizes. No Roblox YouTuber has ever gone this far to get credit for covering allegations that aren't theirs, because we are happy when the info spreads. The main reason people make exposed vids is to get the info out there, and that's why we don't call people out for sharing the same info. Gone Fishing, on the other hand, seems to be more interested in attention, as he made sure it was the first thing he mentioned in his latest vid. I can confidently say virtually every single YouTuber who covers this kind of stuff truly cares about the topic at hand, not to be viewed as saviors. Gone Fishing is someone who wants recognition as a hero from these videos, and he has made it clear, and even the victim of Loppy's alleged assault agrees. I kinda caught a body, as the kids say, although I can't really say it was my doing, as I've got to give credit to Gone Fishing for exposing himself. He has exposed himself for creating videos calling disgusting people out, in part so he can be recognized and be seen as a hero. He asked for recognition, and he got it, although I don't really know if this is what he had in mind. My DMs are open on both Discord and Twitter, so he could have privately reached out, but he chose to make this a public matter, so I have to play by his rules. The information on Loppy he's relaying is very important, and his stupid actions should not belittle that info solely because he talks about it. He's doing it in part to get attention and recognition as being this guy who takes down predators, but the info from the victim shouldn't be discredited for that. When you watch his videos, don't automatically assume the info is false. Just remember that he's likely calling it out because he wants to be seen as a hero. The topics aren't solely his to talk about, and he doesn't deserve credit. The credit should go to those victims who expose their aggressors. If you don't like what I've said, then consider what Loppy's alleged assault victim has to say, because her words right now are far more important than mine.